The IMF warns against the adoption of cryptocurrency as a legal tender. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, has warned against the legalization of cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin. Noting the multiple risks and costs associated with crypto assets, the IMF does not envisage them gaining traction as a national currency. The International Monetary Fund warns of the risks associated with adopting cryptocurrencies as a national currency. On Monday, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, released a blog post analyzing the legal status of cryptocurrencies. The title of the post is Crypto Assets as a National Currency? Tobias Adrian, financial counselor and head of the IMF's Monetary and Capital Markets Department, and Rhoda Weeks-Brown, General Counsel and Director of the IMF's Legal Department, co-authored A Step Too Far. El Salvador, a Central American country that just recognized Bitcoin as legal tender alongside the US dollar, is not mentioned in the piece. According to the authors, crypto assets, including Bitcoin, pose significant hazards to macroeconomic stability, financial integrity, consumer protection, and the environment as national currencies. While appreciating the benefits of cryptocurrencies' underlying technologies, the IMF directors maintain that governments must step up to provide these services. Attempting to convert crypto assets to a national currency is a bad idea. Nonetheless, the directors believe that crypto assets will fail to gain traction because people in stable economies will have very little incentive to price or save in them, while those in less stable economies will prefer to use a globally recognized reserve currency, such as the dollar or euro. A crypto asset, on the other hand, might take on as a payment vehicle for unbanked people, but not as a means of storing value, they observed, emphasizing that it would be promptly exchanged for real currency upon receipt. The two IMF directors made the following observations. However, actual currency is not always easily accessible or transportable. Additionally, in certain nations, laws prohibit or restrict payments with alternative kinds of currency. These factors could tilt the scales in favor of widespread adoption of crypto assets. The authors then cautioned against the costs associated with broad acceptance of a crypto asset such as Bitcoin. Not only would households and companies spend significant time and resources deciding which currency to hold rather than participating in productive activities, but government revenues would also be exposed to exchange rate risk, the authors concluded. Additionally, monetary policy would lose its sting. Central banks do not have the authority to establish interest rates on foreign currencies. They cautioned that domestic pricing could become extremely volatile, jeopardizing financial integrity. Additionally, they stated that crypto assets can be used to launder money, finance terrorism, and escape taxes. This could put a country's financial system, budgetary balance, and connections with foreign governments and correspondent banks at risk. Additionally, there are legal implications associated with the adoption of cryptocurrencies as legal money. To qualify as a legal tender, a payment method must be widely available. However, in many countries, internet access and the technology required to transfer crypto assets remain scarce, raising concerns about fairness and financial inclusion, they noted. Additionally, modifications to a country's legal tender status and monetary unit often necessitate extensive and widespread changes to monetary law in order to avoid the creation of a disconnected legal system. Banks and other financial institutions might also be impacted by the significant price swings in crypto assets, the IMF directors observed, noting that mining cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin requires a massive amount of electricity to run the computer networks. They added, the ecological consequences of adopting these crypto assets as a national currency might be devastating. Additionally, broad adoption of crypto assets would jeopardize consumer protection. Households and organizations may experience wealth loss as a result of big price movements, fraud, or cyber attacks. We hope you enjoyed watching and listening to this video. Please let us know your opinion in the comments area below. If you found our content useful, please like it and share it with your friends. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell for more crypto-related contents.